Hello everyone and now welcome to a game between Focus versus Sock. This game taking place here on Northern Isle. I don't know, is that Sunit Samusil or Sunet Samusil? Hello, thank you for joining in on the stream. Glad to see some, names I don't quite recognize. Thank you for just stopping on about Sunit Sin Samusil. Alright, um, I'm sorry, Sanit Singh Masil. I know I am perhaps butchering that already, so I won't even try, as things are already getting away in this 1v1 matchup. Here we have Sock spawning as the red human player over here on the top right-hand side of the map. Meanwhile, over here on the bottom left, hey Spiral, how are you doing? Over here on the bottom left, we are looking at Focus spawning as the blue orc. Some great games, hopefully, I have in store for you. As always, if you guys are looking for more Warcraft 3 games and want to catch me live, I cast 6:30 to 7:30 Pacific time in the morning. That's the only time that I have where the kids are still asleep, and well, it's just something that I do in the morning to keep myself entertained. Always enjoy watching these streams. Well, I always enjoy having viewers who interact without getting me too distracted. What was that? One time there was an armor conversation going back and forth for so long. I'm just like, you gotta watch the video, man. You gotta watch my explanation on armor before we talk, and then you can, like, I've summarized a lot. If you want to contradict me there, you can contradict me there. Hello, Metaphysics. Good for you to join in. I used to follow him on YouTube before Grubby or Back to Warcraft. He pushed me into Warcraft. Wow. I don't know if I Link, what do I have to search for on YouTube? Crota Warcraft 3 armor. That's all you need to look at if you are interested in Warcraft 3 armor. It does a good explanation on effective hit points versus static hit points, how evasion works, things of that nature, whether or not, well, rings of protection scale very well. Anyways, let's go ahead and break things down in this matchup here. Archmage already moving away here, as we're going to be looking at the Farseer, Spirit Wolves, and Grunt now making its way back. I don't see an Arcane Tower, so Sock may end up getting harassed here quite a bit. Water Elemental also being pushed back here, as well as the Archmage now simply running on by. So Focus perhaps was expecting to try and creepjack or harass the Archmage, but the Archmage did a double back around in order to, well, keep some distance and minimize that harassment. There are Spirit Wolves on the inside right here trying to do a little bit of fighting. The Spirit Wolf might end up getting taken down. No, I believe that was a resummon Spirit Wolf to deny a little bit of experience, as a penguin gets in the way of a man on a horse. I don't know how a penguin stops a man on a horse. I would normally think the penguin would try and walk away. Maybe, well, the laws of nature do not quite work as well here in Azeroth as they do on planet Earth. All right, I don't know, part of me just wants to scream, I thought we had a deal. Anyways, farm now coming back across here, well, taking a little bit of damage. Has to be careful. We're gonna look at, well, there goes one peasant, another 25 experience. So Farseer has already gotten 2 kills there. Meanwhile, this farm may end up getting taken down, and it does. So Sock ending up losing 80 gold and 20 lumber right there, as we're looking at more well, things coming back in. Azeroth penguins are tough, man. Yes, they are. We're looking at, well, the farm, is it going to try and be repaired here? This is a lot of pressure coming back across this Arcane Tower, not yet done. Meanwhile, back down to the south here, Archmage does have, well, Brilliance Aura at level 2, and we need to see if they can hold the door on this farm to try and keep all of this pressure away. Now, every peasant that is taken out during this time is extra loss of lumber and, well, delay for future tech. We are looking at this farm trying to be rebuilt, down to 37 hit points, down to 23, down to 15, and the Arcane Tower, is it going to be able to hold everything, as the Spirit Wolves are now trying to make their way in? All right, little bit of damage coming back across here. Peasants now trying to do a little bit more repairing. Arcane Tower now finally feedbacking those Spirit Wolves instead, as the militia are trying to fight back, and we're still looking at more fighting there. All right, a little bit of experience gained back by the Archmage there, as one peasant going to try and hold and hide back on the other side here. Is going to be able to do exactly that, as that farm is still getting a lot of pressure. More repairs underway, as the Arcane Tower able to hold that door. that farm down to 20 hit points at some point, as more and more damage still being absorbed here. All right, we're looking at that Arcane Tower trying to finish off that Spirit Wolf. 3 peasants trying to hold that door. We're looking at, well, is it going to be able to fight it back here? There goes another one, as that Grunt now backing up. Meanwhile, during all this time, Sock is looking to try and get to level 3. Does have level 2, but it's just shy of level 3, as this front door is still being held. We are low on lumber because of the constant repairing necessary, and Sock actually in a strange spot where he has 1,200 gold, but no actual lumber to try and, well, train up a Mountain King or get anything else back. We may see the Archmage now sitting at level 3. Yes, we do have a level 3 Archmage because of another Spirit Wolf getting taken down by Militia. All right, we're looking at a Tauren Chieftain coming in onto the battlefield as well. Farseer sitting at level 1, and this is a lot of harassment early on against Sock, who is currently, well, lumber locked more than anything else. We're looking at Water Elementals, perhaps trying to put in a bit of pressure. Archmage does have double Circlets of Nobility. Nothing like, well, Circlets of Nobility leveling up a hero, as we're seeing the Archmage with decent damage and a lot more mana already. Farseer may be forced to come back home to try and protect any additional production buildings, or any buildings being added on could get early pressured by these Water Elementals and the Archmage as they're under construction. This peon down over here trying to find room, but, well, limited on land, as land and space is a resource as well. And coming back around, was that an overcommitment and an overstay right there? Well, we finally see Sock finally getting up his Mountain King. That very fast attack to tier 2 ended up not really being that useful, as we saw him actually being stuck. He wanted to train more peasants. He also wanted to get up that Mountain King and some Arcane Sanctums. He wasn't able to do that, as we're now already looking at Shaman joining in on the battlefield. Now, level 3 Archmage is not that scary when you have a decent number of Shaman out on the field, and we're already getting our 3rd Shaman, meaning Purge is going to be shutting down those Water Elementals during the next stage. The problem is going to be the low hit point Farseer and Tauren Chieftain. Normally, the Tauren Chieftain should get to level 2 fairly fast, but that is just not what we're going to be looking at here. Without that Endurance Aura, the movement speed of that Orc army in general is significantly slower, as we finally see the Voodoo Lounge being, well, constructed. We should be looking at a Clarity Potion, getting in a little bit of heal. I don't know how they got any experience whatsoever right there. Look like 12.5 experience for each of those units. Maybe a peasant getting taken out somewhere, as we are looking at a low hit point footman in the back, and, well, we are going into a little bit of a creep track reversal. Mountain King now out onto the battlefield. Are we going to see a Stormbolt perhaps onto a low hit point Grunt? Yep, that Grunt pretty much didn't know what was coming, as the Mountain King, well, does not get the experience at all. Purge onto the Water Elemental, as you saw right there. Tauren Chieftain already at 71 experience. Mountain King still nothing on the board at all, as we see another Purge go down onto those Water Elementals. Exactly what we were expecting. Level 2 now on that Farseer, as that Tauren Chieftain does get in a good stomp for measure. All right, are we going to see another footman getting taken down? And here we are. Here is that reversal that we were expecting. Tauren Chieftain making his presence known. Shamans pretty much stopping the Archmage's level 3 ability, level 3, taking down many of those Water Elementals before they could really deal that much damage. However, well, there goes a quick ensnare onto that Ogre Magi. Tauren Chieftain gets up to level 2, and now we have that Endurance Aura that I was speaking of just moments ago. Focus sitting at 39 supply. Meanwhile, Sock sitting at 35. He had more gold than his opponent for quite some time, but he was unable to build any of the necessary buildings or train any of the necessary units, since he was forced to repair so many of his farms for so long that the peasants were unable to harvest any lumber. Coming back around, we are going into a rifle caster strategy. Well, shooting that penguin. Apparently, I don't know, would you rather get shot by a rifle, or would you rather get trampled by a horse? Apparently, that's all it takes to get that penguin down. No penguins were harmed in the recording of this video. Anyways, Mountain King gonna go ahead and fight back once more, as the Tuskar Trapper will get shut down here, and, well, the Mountain King will be staying just at level 1. Archmage staying at level 3, double circlets of nobility, and those claws of attack +6, overall +10 damage. You saw that he actually sold those Cloak of Shadows earlier to pick up a claw of attack +6 from the marketplace. And that is an interesting pickup. Claws of attack are rather expensive from the marketplace, as we're looking at the Mountain King doing a little bit of a chase back once more. Alright, so far, that Null Brute is going to get taken down. Level 2 on the Mountain King. We should be going for Thunderclap. Mountain King going to finish off that Null Assassin as well, as we could be going into... Nope, no ensnares. Are we going to see the ensnares? There goes the ensnares on both a Rifleman and a Footman right there in a good position. However, well, we're going to see Focus use that timing to perhaps try and engage somewhere else, as Militia are now, well, funneling through in the fight. Tauren Chieftain gonna try and lay down a stomp. He is completely surrounded. There goes a quick stomp. There goes a Priest as well. Mountain King gets a Stormbolt onto a Raider as the Militia are coming in from the side. Lightning Shield, however, on a Kodo Beast, stopping many of the Militia from, well, trying to engage once more, as the Tauren Chieftain looks to back up. Potion of greater healing on that Tauren Chieftain alongside a Ring of Regeneration and a Belt of Giant Strength. That Tauren Chieftain, if he wasn't difficult to kill before, is extremely difficult to kill now. Meanwhile, a Kodo Beast trying to share the love, but dealing damage back to his own friendly units as a Stormbolt goes down onto that Wind Rider. Riflemen want to finish off that Wind Rider. Wind Riders are extremely expensive and represent a large amount of experience as it gets taken down pretty quickly. Mountain King, Stormbolt onto the Kodo Beast. Kodo Beast going to get shot apart right here with those Riflemen, as we now see level 3 on the Tauren Chieftain, who is currently low on mana. Scroll of Healing being used there. Lightning Shield trying to finish off many of those Riflemen. There it goes, a quick Dispel Magic coming in from once more as the Tauren Chieftain just absolutely just cutting through everything with a whole bunch of lightning shields, as we are looking at a level 3 Farseer, level 3 Tauren Chieftain going at it. Focus with a slight supply advantage. No expansion already being established down to the south by Focus here. Here we just go back and missing WarCraft 3 with thank you. Alright, so much fun in this early game. We saw Focus open up with a lot of early pressure. And that early pressure, well, delayed that Mountain King. The Archmage tried to show up to the battle, and then, well, there were enough early Shaman to really tip things back in favor of Focus. And sometimes it is difficult to tell if you have overstayed unless you are looking at the very minor details and have a direct purpose. I really do believe that Focus's purpose was that while Sock's Town Hall was upgrading the keep, he was able to keep a lot of peasants off of the lumber line, and thereby delaying the amount of lumber, also taking down peasants as well. And that also made Sock unable to train any additional peasants during that stage. And because he was unable to train any additional peasants, well, that turned into the lumber issues that we saw. At one point, early on, we saw Sock sitting on 1,200 gold and below 100 lumber, meaning that he could only really train up footmen at that point, which, well, we know that footmen have diminishing returns. You don't really want to be training footmen in the late stages of the early game or at the start of the mid game. It's just going to turn into free experience for that Tauren Chieftain with that stomp. Now coming back around, though, Sock does have a slight experience advantage. Level 4, level 3 compared to level 3, level 3. Expansion, however, for Focus means that he doesn't need to straight up engage in this battle. All he needs to do is try and delay his opponent, and he will still get a decent size advantage. Rifleman and, well, Rifleman Priest trying to line up Tauren Chieftain. Oh, gets Stormbolted by the Mountain King, who was hiding down to the south here. Tauren Chieftain now making its way over. Are we going to see a stomp? Yes, we do. Potion of Lesser Invulnerability used in time. We are also seeing a healing salve on that Tauren Chieftain as a Thunderclap slowing down much of that army as well. Tauren Chieftain's healing salve is still going strong right now as he is hiding off to the side. Tauren Chieftain needs to make its way in, and is he going to lay down a stomp? Nope, he gets Storm Bolted for all of his measure, and that is a lot of damage across all of those units. The Tauren Chieftain using that healing squirrel right there. Tauren Chieftain now being forced to back up. Priest, well, in the belly of the beast as the Kodos, well, giving a major damage bonus across all the back units still. Are we going to perhaps see Chain Lightning being used? Not quite yet. Chain Lightning really, oddly enough, only effective in the human versus orc matchup once Spellbreakers make their way out onto the battlefield. The reason why I say that, how can Chain Lightning be effective against Spellbreakers? It is because once Spellbreakers are out on the battlefield, that means that the Chain Lightning will only be hitting those casters, as the Spellbreakers can't actually absorb any of that. Tauren Chieftain, well, Tauren Chieftain now using that Scroll of Town Portal to head back out. 48 supply compared to 42. We do see an economic advantage back down here. Is meta, wait, meta, it's Sock and Who fighting? Focus. It's up there on the top of the screen for you. Flocus. All right, we are at Stronghold. Do we have Adept training? We do have Adept training, obviously, as we have, well, Purge and Lightning Shield on those Shaman. Mountain King, well, it looks as though it is just pure rifle casters without a transition into Spellbreakers as of yet. 47 supply compared to 57. Sock sitting in no upkeep, and perhaps Focus is surprised that his opponent hasn't set up an expansion of his own. I know I am surprised right now, as normally human players set up expansions much more quickly. Coming back around, we do see the Watchtowers, 2 Watchtowers already in position with fortified armor. And as I've said many times in matchups with undead players, it is often very difficult to take down buildings if you only have piercing damage, magic damage, and heroic damage. That's exactly what we're looking at right now from the human army, with only piercing damage, magic damage, and heroic damage, meaning that these 2 Watchtowers here are going to present at least a decent-sized problem until a workshop or some other types of, well, units add in onto the battlefield. My money that doesn't exist go with Focus, because, man, he's super good. Yes, first time watching after. Yeah, nope. Yeah, Focus is extremely good right here. There goes an Ensnare. We are looking at a Raider taking a lot of damage. Are we going to see a Stormbolt onto the Tauren Chieftain? No, the Thunderclap was enough, though, as the Tauren Chieftain trying to line on in. There goes a big clap right there. Are we going to see a Lightning Shield as the Tauren Chieftain is still lining things up? There goes a Stormbolt. However, the Tauren Chieftain may have overstayed his welcome. Down to 300, down to 100, down to 105. There's a Lightning Shield, and there's a Chain Lightning bouncing things all the way back around, trying to finish off some units. 57 supply compared to 47. Well, a dive with the Tauren Chieftain, followed by, well, a Stormbolt onto the Tauren Chieftain, followed by a bunch of focus fire from the Rifleman, pretty much trying to make short work of that Tauren Chieftain there. All right. I had to make sure I didn't spell Focus's name wrong in a second. Why is everyone saying Focus, Flocus so much? And coming back around, Priest joining in, Scroll of Town Portal quickly being used, Stormbolt straight up onto that Tauren Chieftain. We saw a Lightning Shield being used, but well, there goes that Disenchant right there. Not enough to finish off any of those units at all. No, sometimes you see, well, Lightning Shield getting cast in a Scroll of Town Portal. All those units are so clumped together, but you want to cast Lightning Shield on the units that have a lot of hit points so that it affects the units that don't have any. It looked like it was cast on the low hit point Rifleman there, and it was then spreading damage across multiple other units. All right, Focus is in a little bit of trouble if he does not reposition and regather himself. We're looking at the Tauren Chieftain over here on the top left. Oh, Claws of Attack +6 being left behind, and well, Archmage could pick up another Claws of Attack. That would actually be a very big deal right there, as the Kodo Beast is going to get taken down. Another Claws of Attack +6, and we're looking at a +22 damage Archmage. All right, +22 damage Archmage. Tauren Chieftain had room, Farseer had room, and they both did not pick up those items. That is going to be a very large setback indeed. Large setback indeed. Riflemen and Priests gonna gather together. We'll see whether or not the Farseer or the Archmage's damage is gonna be so high. Oh, we are looking at the Tauren Chieftain. Tauren Chieftain, is it gonna accidentally, well, reveal itself? There it is, up to level 5, and now gonna be that level 3 stomp, stunning so many units. There's that Chain Lightning bouncing around. Are we gonna see some Lightning Shields getting cast on some Riflemen as they, well, teleport back out? No, we are not. The Shaman just don't have enough mana. All right, Scroll of Town portal back to the expansion location. Not even an arcane vault to try and buy up some new items. Raiders now retreating back once more. Tauren Chieftain wants to line up another attack. Tauren Chieftain with a pendant of mana and also a mana stone. That is absolutely scary as we see a stomp now go down, even affecting the rifleman all the way to the far back here. There's a Thunderclap. Archmage could be in trouble. Down to 92, 46. It gets taken down. A follow-up stomp as well to add insult to injury. Potion of Invulnerability now being used once more as the Tauren Chieftain could throw down another stomp. Grunts are, however, going to end up falling here. Mountain King could try and get off another Thunderclap before it goes. It's currently invisible, and oh, there it goes. The Tauren Chieftain was trying to line up a stomp to stomp onto that Mountain King, and it was still enough. All right, 2 heroes down for Sok. Tauren Chieftain now trying to make its way back over. If it finishes off enough of these units, there is another stomp again. Tauren Chieftain could be in trouble. Down to 75, 54, 43, 34 hit points, and it looks like it gets taken down before getting to level 6. Even though a level 5 Tauren Chieftain was lost, that is a horrible, horrible loss right there. Well, there were no heroes to gain that experience. I think he was trying to go after some units, get that Tauren Chieftain to level 6, and then not worry about losing his Tauren Chieftain. However, he just couldn't land the kill. Perhaps a Chain Lightning or some other useful ability could have come across. We're looking at 1,000 gold in the bank. Gold mines, main gold mines are now starting to run low as, well, one grunt still engaging back here, finishing off that peasant. All right. No resurrection on that Tauren. Tauren now back out onto the field. It would take, what, 22 experience to level him up. One more peasant would have been enough. If the Tauren Chieftain, okay, you got to admit, if the Tauren Chieftain got to level 6 with that little bit of a dive, that would have been a genius play. And, well, that's what it takes sometimes. You need to take risks. And you take calculated risks, hoping that it works out well for you. And that would have been just far too much for Sok to recover from, as he would have been in the process of resurrecting his Archmage and Mountain King. Yeah, that was extremely close. 22 experience. Potion of Invisibility on that Tauren Chieftain now. We are looking at Militia trying to scout out the other corners of the map, seeing if there are expansions placed down. 51 supply compared to 49. And this is one of those situations where one peasant is actually dropping you down from, 20 gold a second down to 14 gold a second because of how, well, income taxes work in WarCraft 3. All right. Yeah, I am interested to see why Sok doesn't have those Spellbreakers in that front line. I did mention that the Tauren Chieftain's Stomp gets a little bit weaker once the Spellbreakers are there, but then the Farseer's Chain Lightning gets stronger as the Tauren Chieftain will often invisible himself, go to that back line, Stomp, and then the Chain Lightning just bounces across a bunch of Sorceresses and Priest. All right, there is that, well, a Sentry Ward right there, and that's actually a good reveal and good information for Focus to know. Focus knows that his opponent has the ability to reveal an invisible Tauren Chieftain just outside his base, so he knows that he cannot use this Potion of Invisibility on that Tauren Chieftain right now for a surprise stomp. All right, we're going to be looking at a Mountain King. Oh, there's a reveal, and the Mountain King is now currently revealed. There's a Purge, and wow, what a good sense of just like a Spider sense or a Warcraft 3 sense, thinking to yourself, you know what? I'm going to use Dust of Appearance right now. Catching the Mountain King and then purging him to remove that invisibility. Tauren Chieftain sitting at, well, level 5. Main gold mines both are about to run out. Mountain King, Stormbolt onto the Tauren Chieftain. Tauren Chieftain, well, pretty much going to be ignored throughout the rest of the battle now. You don't want to try and shut down a level 6 Tauren Chieftain. You knock him down, he just gets back up again. There ain't nothing going to keep him down as that Tauren Chieftain is lining up for another stomp already. All right, there goes another stomp, removing another 8 supply. There's that Chain Lightning bouncing around, as I mentioned, as it is level 6 on that Farseer with level 3 Chain Lightning focusing on more and more units. thunderclap. This is a or stomp battle between these two armies, as the Farseer may try to line up another chain lightning, and there it goes, lining up some more. Tauren Chieftain stomps down again. So much damage as the Kodo Beast is eating up a rifleman. All right, Tauren Chieftain still in the back line saying, you know what, I have plenty of potions of mana. I can just use another potion of mana, stomp things down. Mountain King could be in trouble. Potion of invulnerability is used in time as we see a Stormbolt go down onto the Tauren Chieftain. Tauren Chieftain, you see the stun onto the Tauren Chieftain, and then the Tauren Chieftain just says, the Mountain King says, nope, I'm not gonna kill you. And at this point in stage in the game, the Tauren Chieftain might actually be better served to be killed and then have Reincarnation just give him back full hit points and mana. Alright, are we finally getting Spellbreakers? Yes, we are. Sok finally getting Spellbreakers. I thought this was a strategy by Sok to not go Spellbreakers, perhaps only use Rifle Priests, but that did not work out well either. Mountain King losing that Clarity Potion already. Shadow Spirit Wolf going to get taken down pretty quick. 1 or 2 more shots. There it goes. Archmage is sitting at level 5. Archmage with plus 22 damage. Still not enough to deal with that level 6 Tauren Chieftain, who is still regenerating mana and hit points rather than using Reincarnation to reset that cooldown. Yeah. It could be experimenting. You got to remember, NetEase play, ladder play is also a time of experimenting, trying out new and different strategies, and seeing how effective they are. We are looking also at a great off to the side here. If this was at a higher level tournament, perhaps he would have used those Spellbreakers a little bit earlier, as Metaphysics mentioned. There is a lot of things to consider. Pretty much this could just be practice for Sok and practice for focus. That's why it matters on what stage the players are playing. Tauren Chieftain now making his way off to the north here. A Water Elemental looking to get some damage onto this Great Hall. Could easily get purged or just absolutely destroyed. 825. There goes a Quicken Snare, followed by that Purge taking it down.
Work complete.
Is the new balance patch update released yet? It is not. The Farseers, or the Claws of Attack plus 6 on the Archmage. Where is that Archmage? Should be a good indicator right there. Claws of Attack plus 6 as opposed to Claws of Attack plus 5. All right, we're looking at the Shadow Wolves down across here, Spellbreakers, and if they have control magic, we'll be able to turn those Shadow Wolves pretty quickly, as the Shadow Wolves are putting in a little bit of pressure. Expansion off to the side here. Tauren Chieftain is in position. There is a Sentry Ward. That Sentry Ward, whose is it? There's a Dust of Appearance, and the Tauren Chieftain, is not revealed. And, what the one Sentry Ward was revealed right there. Tauren Chieftain lands down a stomp, stunning down about 15 to 20 supply right in position, as the Tauren Chieftain, was just given too much time to regenerate all of his mana and hit points. Avatar on that Mountain King, going to be able to throw down a bunch of thunderclaps here. Avatar makes him very, very powerful, but would it have been better to use Storm Bolts or just multiple thunderclaps? That is an important question to ask. Archmage now has level 6 as well. We now have multiple level 6 abilities. Archmage instead goes for level 3 Brilliance Aura for even more mana onto that Mountain King. Mountain King generating large amounts of mana. There goes a couple of Chain Lightnings bouncing around again. Avatar hoping to perhaps get down another Thunderclap, and there another Thunderclap should be used. Are we going to see it? There goes another clap there, finishing off a couple of units quickly. Tauren Chieftain low on hit points, but he doesn't care. Mountain King now needs to back away, as all of those units are in massive, massive retreat. Are we going to be getting into any sort of control magic? That is the question to have, as the army, 40 supply compared to 48, needs to get back home. 7-7 versus 6-6. Nope, almost 7. We're looking at a Stormbolt onto the Farseer, but it was dodged pretty quickly right there. Are we looking at the Archmage getting taken down? Down to 47 hit points. Not going to even talk about the Tauren Chieftain, as he will get back up and be a force to be reckoned with once more. There goes another Stomp. Farseer now sitting at level 7 does go for Earthquake. Earthquake, if it finishes off the Mountain King here, Earthquake would actually then become a useful ability. There's a follow-up Stomp. There goes the Mountain King, and that has got to be the game. Mountain King has fallen. Torrent Chieftain, Farsi are both at level 7, and that is in fact the game right there, especially as Focus, well, is still going to be able to continue to mine more and more gold. Flowkiss 1, there's the GG. I want to see Earthquake 2, but at that point, Sock knew that the game was over. Mountain King lost. Archmage was low on hit points. Farseer, Torrent Chieftain working together. If you didn't see the ultimate ability at level 6, thank you for the cheer. $100 I wear can't watch, so here's my support. Oh, that is, well, thank you very, very much. Every little bit does definitely help. Really greatly appreciate it as well. We'll see what else is going to be going down. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And well, stay tuned for more WarCraft 3.